How is it that at almost 60 years old, I feel better now than I did 20 years ago? And what if I told you that the only thing I've changed is the way I eat? Hi, I'm Kimberly, and this is Faith and Feathers. So how did I do it, and what did I change? Well, about 4 years ago, I changed the way I eat to an animal-based diet. I ate all kinds of meat, some vegetables, but I cut out sugar, processed foods, and seed oils. The vegetables I ate were minimal. I would eat green beans, sauteed onions and mushrooms, and once in a while, sliced zucchini or squash. Immediately, I started to notice the changes, and here are 10 things that have healed in my body. Number 1, I had chronic, rumbly, gassy digestion. It was so uncomfortable because it came along with cramping and bloating and just that feeling of fullness that was so uncomfortable. Even as a child, I was prone to stomach aches. But by the time I was in my 20s, I was diagnosed with IBS. After an upper and lower GI, and the doctor not being able to find anything else wrong with me, that was the diagnosis that was left. Although I didn't have much direction on what I was supposed to do about that. Luckily, the IBS sort of came and went, and sometimes I was granted with long periods of relief, so I basically lived with it. One of the last times it was so bad was right before I changed my diet. I literally had to leave work because the pain was so intense. Now, that is completely resolved. My digestion is always quiet, and I literally never have gas. Number 2, mental fog and fatigue. Do you ever feel that even though you slept for many hours of the night, you wake up tired? Do you ever need to take an afternoon nap or drink that afternoon cup of coffee just to push yourself through the rest of the day? Well, that was me. Have you ever felt that while you're talking, you can't find the word you're looking for? And it's hard some days to string a sentence together? Well, that was me too. At the time, I thought it was my age. I thought it was partially due to hormonal changes due to menopause. I thought it was something I was just going to have to live with. And because a lot of my friends were complaining of the same thing, I thought it was normal. Sometimes you don't even realize how bad something is until it's gone. Well, as I began to change my diet, that lifted. The way I feel now, eating this diet, I'm so much more joyful and energized. My mood is elevated, and it's no surprise. There's actually been studies shown that when you eat a very low carbohydrate diet and eliminate sugars and processed foods and seed oils, it has a very positive effect on the mood. Number 3, joint stiffness and pain is gone. I was one of those people that when I got up in the morning, my knees, my ankles would just sort of snap, crackle, and pop all the way walking down the hall to the bathroom. Again, I thought this was age, it's normal, and it's just the way life is going to be. In addition to that, though, the stiffness in my joints. My joints hurt. They ached. I thought this was age. I thought this was perhaps part of menopause and just getting older. You know, when you remove inflammation from your body, the pain will go away. And that's what happens when you eat a low carbohydrate diet. Your body removes itself of toxins. It removes itself of the excess fluid, and the pain literally disappears. I have bursitis in one of my feet, and that's gone. It's literally gone. The only time that stiffness and joint pain comes back for me now is if I stray too far off of my diet, that pain will immediately come back. Number 4, my eyes and teeth are no longer sensitive. Now, this was pretty much a surprise. I was not expecting this one. Because when you live your whole life with your sunglasses literally being a lifeline to being able to see, you just can't believe that you've gotten older, but now your eyes are stronger. How are my eyes stronger now and more resilient to sunlight than they were when I was little? It's amazing, but I never pick up sunglasses anymore. In fact, I can be outside on a bright sunny day. I never even think about sunglasses. My eyes are no longer sensitive. The only time I may still reach for sunglasses if I am on a boat and the reflection off of the surrounding water is too bright. That's the only time. But other than that, I never think about it. And my teeth feel stronger and tighter in my gums, if that is even a thing. But they literally do. They feel really, really strong, and they're no longer sensitive. I used to have to use the sensitive formula toothpaste. Not anymore. My teeth used to be very sensitive to either hot or cold, and if I drank water, I could never put ice in it. It had to be room temperature water because of the sensitivity of my teeth. Now, that is all gone. All sensitivity is gone. I can eat whatever I want. I'm not prone to temperature sensitivity, and I have no tooth pain. Number 5. This is probably the one I am the most happy about. I am off my blood pressure medication that I had been on for 15 years. My doctor told me I probably would be on them forever, that it's probably genetic as to why my blood pressure was elevated. At the time, I asked him, no, seriously, isn't there some sort of lifestyle change that I could make? I don't want to be on blood pressure pills for the rest of my life. What can I do to fix this? Well, he didn't have any answers. I was thin, physically fit. I didn't drink too much alcohol. I didn't smoke. He couldn't give me any ideas to change anything because I didn't fit the warning signs as it was. I began eating this way slowly, and I was in no hurry to come off the pills. I wanted to give my body time to adjust and do it slowly. I probably was eating this way close to a year before I started slowly cutting back my medication. I spoke with my doctor about it, and he was very open to giving me the opportunity to try. Over time, we just started cutting back my medication. My body seemed fine. Cut it back a little more. My body seemed fine. Over the course of 6 months, we slowly cut back my medication to nothing. And my blood pressure is normal, and it has been normal, and it has stayed normal. Number 6, food cravings and addictions disappear. If you are committed to this diet and you stick with it, before long, all your cravings will disappear. Now, when I say before long, your cravings will disappear, I would say, well, for me, that was about 3 weeks. Probably about 3 weeks, I just didn't even think about carbs anymore. I lost all taste or even desire for them. Once you turn the corner, it literally leaves you. So don't think you're just going to white knuckle it through life for the rest of your life when you switch to this way of eating. Because something changes in you and you no longer even care. Now, okay, if I think about pasta sometimes, yeah, I can work myself up to maybe wanting it, but I don't think about it. I don't put it in front of me. I don't entertain those thoughts. I know how bad I'm going to feel if I eat it. And I know this because there have been times where I've tried. And I don't know, maybe I had a bad day, and like anyone with an addiction, that's the easiest way to fall back into smoking, to maybe fall off the wagon and have that drink. Or if you're a carbohydrate addict like I am, you might have that bowl of pasta. And the minute you do, those cravings are going to come rushing back like a freaking tidal wave. And then you're going to have to fight them all over again. And it may take another week or so, another several days to a week to get yourself back. That's why it's important when you make this commitment, really, really make it. And if you do, those cravings are gone. They will absolutely disappear, and it's so freeing. Number 7. This is a fun one and a weird one. So you're wondering, why are you doing that? Okay, if you compare my 2 wrists, you can see in this one, there's a little bump right here. That is what's called a ganglion cyst. Now, it doesn't bother me right now. I can move my wrist very easily, but there's still evidence of that cyst there. Before I changed my diet, that cyst would grow and protrude out from my wrist like a huge knot or egg. And it looked freaky too. Not only did it look freaky, but it hurt. Because of the position of where it is in my wrist, any flexing of my wrist really caused pain because it felt like that cyst was right in the joint. Sometimes it would just spontaneously burst on its own, thankfully, and give me some relief, but invariably it would just grow back. I had had it for maybe a few years, right before I changed to this way of eating. And even after I changed my diet, it was growing and I had it. So it never occurred to me that it was going to disappear. But that last time that it sort of popped on its own, it's never come back. It's absolutely never come back. And for many years, that cyst was always there. The minute it popped, it would grow back. I haven't had it now in 3 years. It popped that last time and it's gone. Now, I don't know for a fact that it's because of how I changed the way I eat, but I believe it. I absolutely believe it. I believe this diet has an effect on every cell in your being. Number 8, my dry and itchy skin is gone. Do you have an itchy scalp or skin, and it's the kind of itch that when you scratch it, it doesn't really satisfy the itch, but it almost makes it worse? Or the kind of itch that when you scratch, it's almost a little painful? Well, that was me. And now I know it's from the food I was eating. It's from the chemicals in the processed food, the seed oils, which is toxins in your body, from the gluten sensitivity that I had. All of that is resolved now. And if you have that problem, it could just be what you're eating. Number 9, sleep, glorious sleep. Well, this one is pretty self-explanatory. I sleep so much sounder and deeper now than I did when I was on the standard American diet. And sleep is important. Sleep is where we fight disease. It's where we rejuvenate and restore. Every one of our body systems needs deep, cleansing sleep to be healthy. Sleep for the win. Number 10, and I'm going to get a little graphic here, so forgive me. But I no longer wake up every morning blowing gobs of sinus mucus out of my nose. What is that, right? I don't think it was allergies because the whole rest of the day I would be fine. But invariably every morning I would wake up with a stuffy nose, have a sneezing fit, blow gobs of yuckiness out of my face, and then I would be fine. In addition to that, my eyes would always be filled with those eye crusties. I read recently that those are a sign of oxalate dumping in your body. When you stop eating vegetables, your body wants to rid itself of those toxins, and that is one of the ways that it does it. Well, the cleaner my diet is, the less I have of either of those things. I wake up and my eyes have no crusties in them, and my sinuses are much calmer and clearer. So there's got to be something to it. When you eliminate the toxins and poisons from your body, these things just start to heal in your body. Well, there you have it. Those are 10 things that have healed in my body since switching to an animal-based diet. There is one thing, however, that I'm still attempting to heal, and it's not gone yet. I'm going to address that in another video. Are any of you on an animal-based diet? Please write in the comments below, what surprising thing has healed in your body that you weren't expecting? I'm not trying to convince you to eat the way I do, but if you do have questions, comments, or something you might want me to address in a future video, put it below. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.